So you join me after a pretty convincing victory in the quarter-final of the Liechtenstein Cup, which is the first round that Vaduz enter. We've beaten Sean's B team 8-0. Fairly convincing. It was a complete B team that I put out, other than Jokic and Ulrich, who are regular starters. The 4-4-2 has sort of disappeared and been replaced by a 4-2-3-1, which is the same formation I play in the league now. It was a pretty dismal start to the season. I tried lots of different systems, lots of different tactical variations, and eventually settled on this 4-2-3-1, which seems to do the job pretty well. Just tell everybody that was a good game. So you can see in our schedule that it's been a bit of a ropey start to the season. I've tried lots of different tactics, but the 4-2-3-1 wide, 3 wins, a defeat, which was really unlucky, and a draw again, which was a little bit unlucky. We are 8th in the league, although we've got 2 games in hand on most teams, 1 game in hand on some. 16 points, 13 games, a couple of wins away from sort of the fringes of the playoffs, so not too worried at this stage. Could be better though. As far as the squad's concerned, Cicek is top scorer with 9 goals in 14 games. Average rating has improved somewhat. He had a pretty barren run right the way through here with just really poor while we were playing in funny formations, and then now with the 4-2-3-1 he's getting, in these games, played well. He scored 4 in that game, 2 in that one, 1 and none, and then he set out the cup game. Jokic got 5 and 5. He's playing pretty well all season. Rustad got 4 and 2. That 4 all came, I think, in the cup game we just had. So he's maybe staking a claim for a starting spot. There's no real benefit to me playing Rustad, though. He's not a Liechtenstein player. He is Swiss, but he's not my player. I'm not developing one of my players in this spot, so I'll play. He could probably do a job, but I'd rather not play him if I can get away with it. Ulrich has only played 4 games. I thought he played more than 4 games, but we've obviously got someone slightly better in that spot. I have signed Thiago Neves, who is 37 and Brazilian. So completely against everything I said in the other videos, but you can't. The numbers don't lie. I'm playing him up front sometimes. I'm playing him in the field, playing him in the AMC mostly, and he's probably the best player, standout best player at the club. Have I made any more transfers? I made quite a lot of sort of free transfers. So we did sign Julius Fischer, who we had a little look at the end of the previous video. He's a Liechtenstein player, not the best, but it helps to sign Liechtenstein players. We brought Kakuri in on loan, who is again Swiss. Hopefully we can get promotion and get him signed, because he looks pretty good. Brought in Neves. Kaiser we've brought in because it's Liechtensteiner and has a bit of potential. Loaned him straight back out to one of our affiliates. Sadrija, whatever he's called. We signed him as well for a little bit to bolster up the midfield a little bit and offer a little bit of cover in defence, being 6'1" or 2, quite sort of handy. Not the best at heading or marking, but it's got passing and he can see. So if we need to play ball playing defender, we can and go with him. Schreiber we brought in as well. Liechtenstein had a little bit of potential, just to help boost the numbers. Marxa we brought in. He went out on loan to back to Eschenmoren, and then they weren't playing him, so we took him again. I mean, you wouldn't sign these players normally if you didn't have to bump up your Liechtensteiner quota. And then we also signed Victor Sam Abata on free, who played in Tunisia. 4 goals in 19 games was quite good. He is Nigerian, so he's got 5 years of living in Liechtenstein to become Liechtensteiner, by which time he'll be 26, so not ideal, but he's got stacks of potential. Really good little target forward. Well, I say little, 6 foot. Got some a good first touch, great heading, jumping reach, decent balance, good strength's good. So he will come in and play a little bit of football when we can get him in the squad. We are at our full capacity for the squad, so he's not going to play kind of anytime soon. So we're through to the semi-final of the Liechtenstein Cup. With the first team through. Our B team are actually still in the competition. I'm not sure what happens if we end up playing our B team in the next round, but I would think because we've played so many B team players in our 8-0 win, I'm not sure who's left who can play for Vaduz too, so we'll see what happens later today with that one. And now I think it's time to go forwards and try and pick up a little bit of form with this new formation. We've got some sort of winnable matches here and some tricky matches here. You will notice that we are out of the Europa Conference League, which is the most important competition really for our income and chance to boost us through the rankings. We won 4-3 in the home leg, which again we shouldn't really have conceded 3 goals. Unfortunately, we lost 2-1 in the away leg on penalties after about 12 penalties, which was pretty unlucky. So I'll go forwards, I'll come back later in the season. We might, if we get to the Liechtenstein Cup final late on the season, I may do that as a live game, but I'm not going to do many live games in this. It's just going to be it's a bit of a grind to start with, and it won't be that interesting, the live games. So we'll get through the rest of the season, maybe have some cup action. I've also noticed out there in the FM community that B Panther is also doing a Vaduz save, so that's good to see someone else doing it, and I'll certainly be keeping up with that to see if I can pick up any tips. A little bit further ahead of me, I think, and I think still in Europe. And Jake from FM Scout as well has included Vaduz on his top 10 hardest FM saves as the hardest save, which I would agree with. It's difficult, it's a bit of a grind, but the enjoyment comes later in the save. So I will try and keep updates reasonably regular. I'm just going to try and grind through the first couple of seasons until we can get ourselves established in the Swiss Super League. So I will catch you all shortly.